What's going on, team? So you said when you started this business or when you started this leadership role, you wanted to make a difference. You wanted to impact the people, the community. Heck, maybe you want to impact the world through your business and your leadership role. So my question is, are the day-to-day actions you are doing, talking about, and performing, do they line up with that purpose? Do they match? Today, we're going to get into it. Like always, I make these videos to help others out. So if you watch this video and it's helpful to you, pass it along, share it to a fella or a fellette near you. Now let's stop, drop, and get into it. All right, so you've got your business, you've got your leadership role. Whatever the case, you got people that you are in charge of guiding through and improving their lives, because that is what your purpose is, and it's a phenomenal purpose. I'm glad you have it. But now we're into the day-to-day. It's a Monday, it's a Friday, whatever the case may be, whatever the day is, I want you to think of the last 5 decisions that you've made. For real. Hit the pause button, turn the volume down for a second, whatever. Think about the last 5 decisions you've made. Whether you think they're big, small, whatever the case, write down the last 5 decisions you made. We're gonna put a little test to it. Glad you did that. Now, looking at those decisions, the things that you came up with, do they line up with your purpose and the reason you said you were gonna do this thing? Hopefully so. Chances are one of those 5 probably doesn't. We've all been there, right? So what I wanna go over real quick is some of the yeah buts that we all give ourselves when it comes to why we made a decision that is not in line with why we said we were doing this thing.
I do not recall that.
I made the decision I made because when I get caught up, right? When I get caught up, I'll get those things handled, right? Or when I get caught up, I'll go on vacation. When it can be afforded, I'll give them that raise that they 100% deserve when it can be afforded. We'll go ahead and start using that better material when it can be afforded. I'll buy that program that will absolutely generate me some leads when it can be afforded, right? Or we had to because the squeaky wheel gets the grease. He was gonna quit and go find another thing, or they were most upset, so I had to take care of the most upset customer, right?
No, don't like that.
You've 100% made this at some point in time, right? I can do it tomorrow, or I'll get to it tomorrow. Some form of that, okay? This one right here, to me, you know how it's written in scriptures that if we were to write down all the things that Jesus ever did, the world could not contain the books and the manuscripts written about it? Same thing. If we all compiled our I'll get to it tomorrows, I guarantee you the world couldn't hold it within its grasp. That's a big one, right? Didn't have the time. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, if you say I don't have the time in anything, business life, personal life, that's a hot button for me. I don't appreciate that one. Guarantee you, you suck at scheduling or you're not doing scheduling, you're gonna get me fired up. So it's just scheduling, okay?
Did that go the way you thought it was gonna go? Nope.
It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and not do it. Let me tell you right now, 90% of action is better than 100% of perfection, because perfection ain't never gonna be achieved, all right? So maybe you have one of these things that you said that led to the decision of the last 5 that you made. Maybe it's none of them, but you're sitting here thinking, I've made those decisions before. Look, we all have. Don't say that you haven't. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
All right, now I'm gonna back up off of you guys a little bit. We're gonna get a little bit of third-party perspective on what it looks like when your actions or your decisions aren't lining up with your purpose of why you're doing it, right? So let's talk about why I do what I do. The reason I do what I do is to bring God into business. Point blank, period, end of story. That's my purpose. That is what I am driven and have been called to do, all right? Now, a lot of people say, Marcus, I would like an analogy, a parable, if you will, and I'd like you to use it in a car analogy. You know, because I hear that most people just love car analogies. So I got one for you. So let's say you're an old boy or a fellette, right? And you have purchased a ZR1 Corvette. Now, for those of you that don't know, just go ahead and giggly Google one. A ZR1 Corvette is the bad boy. It's all the things. Power, horses, America, right? So let's talk about why you would get that car versus maybe what you're doing with it when you have it. So reasons you're gonna get that car. Well, cause America. We've already discussed that, right? So if you're saying Porsche, Ferrari, with America, right? Next to that, you got like stupid power, like especially the new one, stupid power, right? You and me probably ain't capable of driving it. Like, listen, I know we want to say that we are, and I want to say that I am, like I'm Mr. Trophy Driver Guy. Probably not enough, right? So next, amazing sound, vroom vrooms, sounds amazing. And it's fast, like fast, like Vin Diesel family fast. And hopefully you get that reference. If you don't, we probably can't be friends.
I have friends. I got family.
But moving on. So here you are, you got this ZR1 Corvette for these reasons, and now here I am in my half-ton, just basic regular Dodge. We're in the fast lane, and we're doing 5 miles an hour under the speed limit. But blood pressure's probably not registerable right now. Like, you've been behind this. So if you got this car for all these reasons, and you're going 5 under in the fast lane, let me tell you right now, the purpose and reasoning in which you bought that car are not lining up with your driving habits. Loud noises! And that's exactly what we're talking about. We want to get into it for these reasons. Like, if you have this car, I can't necessarily encourage speeding because you better at least be doing the speed limit and maybe a track day or two, okay? If not, if you're just gonna do some basic puttering around, you probably don't even need a Corvette, but if you do, you darn sure don't need the one that's $200,000 more than the other one. Just get the basic model. Still not acceptable to drive 5 miles an hour under the speed limit, and I'm really getting off track here, and I do apologize for that. So let's go ahead and let's regress a little bit. All right, I'm really getting fired up. I need to calm down. Let's get back to some practical talks and application, right? So let's say that your purpose or the reason you do what you do is to improve the lives of those that work for you, that work with you. If that's your purpose, is to improve the lives of those around you, are they exceeding more than they did financially when they came to you? Are they having more opportunities to exceed past the mark of where they're currently at? Or are they just at an absolute standstill? Now listen, hold up. Look, I get it. I'm not saying math ain't math and this isn't a real world application, but let's get into it. If we're talking the purpose of why we're doing this thing, we need to make sure that the decisions that you're making are lining up to that. So I want to give an example. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to talk about pay. Show me the money! Show me the money! The thing brought in front of you right now is pay, because it's a big deal for all owners and leaders out there, because it is going to be the largest expense of your company, bar none, point blank, period, end of story. Even if you market like crazy, payroll is what costs you more money. It just does.
Beans, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys,
So an example on that I'd like to give you here is Hobby Lobby. Like them, love them. We're not trying to talk about that. We're just going over some real world facts and numbers. That's all we're saying of what they are in comparison to their competition or companies similar to them. So right off the bat, their minimum wage as of 2024 is $19.25 per employee minimum. Like, that's where they start at. And if you're thinking that's big, that's small, whatever the case may be, just know in a relatable position throughout the country, the average would be $13 an hour. So right off the bat, that is going to be something that's a pretty big stance to take, and they're probably going to have to get real creative to make this work on a P&L sheet. I'm going to tell you right now, if everybody else is stuck here and they're here, there is some things that they have to do and manage to make that work. We're not here to get into that, but we are here. Let's talk about why they made this decision, okay? So by the way, if you haven't read the owner of Hobby Lobby, if you haven't read his book, it's phenomenal. I think it's Lead Not the Right Way or some phenomenal book. You really should read it. It's a great read. But so why is it the Hobby Lobby chose to do this? Because again, we're just talking about using them for an example. I want to show how we can apply our purpose to our actual business decisions that we make on a day-to-day, week-to-week, whatever the case basis, right? So they pay them well primarily due to the company's philosophy is rooted in their Christian faith, believing that they should care for their co-workers, right? You should care for your workers, like straight up what they wrote, right? So some of the key things is that they are a faith-based principle company. Gotta love that. So the founder, Steve Green, emphasizes treating employees well as a religious duty. Like he feels that that is his design, which by the way, the most important things when Jesus asked is love your Father with all of your heart, talking about God, and to treat one another as you love yourself. Like that, I mean, so like he's following that principles, right? And to his point, he believes it honors God and creates better workers. Are you still going to have some workers that aren't? Yeah, listen, you're always going to have those outliners, right? But if I'm looking at a job of this nature, I'm going to go to the one that's paying more money.
Show me the money! Show me the money!
They are proactive in their wage increases. They didn't start out at 1925 like they made, again, read that book. They made a decision that took a good number of years to get there. So their employee dignity, right? The company aims to provide fair wages for human dignity, not just to meet the minimum. If you say you're about your people and you know you are making it tough for them to maintain dignity when it comes to financial moves and decisions, right? Again, we can get into, don't spend, like there's other reasons, other things go into play here, but we're talking about the best things you can do to help those. Remember, your purpose in this example is to improve the lives of the people that work with and for you, right? So how does this translate? What are Hobby Lobby's numbers? Like, hey, do we even know they're winning? Like maybe they're doing this and they're losing. I'll let you determine whether you think they're winning or not. They produce $8 billion with a B, right, in revenue per year.
$100 billion.
Don't know what their profits are. I'm sure that's up to them. They have very, very low debt. They're not completely debt-free, but like percentage-wise, for most $8 billion companies, their debt is significantly less than any companies like them. They are privately owned. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's not many 8 billion with the B companies out there that are privately owned, okay? That means they answer to their purpose and their calling, not those of shareholders. They employ 46,000 people. I'll tell you right now, if your goal is to improve lives of others around you, if you're giving people a job, you're probably doing a pretty good job of working towards that purpose and that goal. So again, this is just an example of how I would like you to think when you're making your decisions. This 1925 was probably an extremely hard decision. If you read the book, you find out it absolutely was. And there's going to be things you have to do to get creative for it. And that's what we're going to talk about here. Let's get into some more practical applications of how you can take something that you're trying to accomplish, but keep it in line with the reason you do that. All right, so let's go ahead and break down a problem that you're most likely having right now, because if you're still here on this video, one, thank you. You're clearly an athletic person that has athletic tendencies. Appreciate you being here. But you're also probably an owner or a leader, and I'm gonna get into one that I've heard almost with everybody that I've encountered in my coaching career is going to be this thing right here. I have a lot of them that'll have payroll issues or sales concerning issues, because like in the world of sales, like, let's be honest, a lot of us get into sales because of the money, right? So what I will have a lot of them tell me many of the times is I want to give them an opportunity like others did for me, or something similar to this. And I've heard, actually I had an owner talk to me on Friday that made almost this exact same statement. I love it, that's phenomenal. So let's see if the statements you're making after that when deciding how to work out this pay if they line up with it. So you're working at a pay plan, whether it's a commission plan, hourly plan, sales plus, or a salary plus plan. Whatever the case may be, you're making up a plan. If you're thinking some of these words right here, you are on the right track. Bravo to you, fantastic. So let's write some of these down. If they win, their pay should win also. Now this is two-sided. A lot of times where I see owners and leaders fail, they'll set up a plan to be like, all right, let's have them hit this goal. And then if they don't hit that goal, it's a big, like, everybody breaks. The company breaks, the salesperson breaks, everybody breaks.
Watch. I've got a plan.
It should be set up in a manner of performance pay, meaning you do good, you get paid good, and I'm not going to be upset for paying you good because you only made me money.
Show me the money! Show me the money!
So if they win, meaning you like the numbers they are producing, they should like the numbers in their pocketbook, all right? So if the maths, let's do it. In other words, if I can do this, if I can implement this structure and the company is in a good position, in a healthy position, and I can make sure that I can be here for them tomorrow, then phenomenal, let's do it. The owner that I was speaking about that made this comment, that's the exact same thing he said. He was like, I want them to make great and phenomenal money as long as I'm healthy in doing so. Love it, right? And another one here. And I've heard this a few times, and I love to hear this, and I would challenge you to have these exact same thoughts. I want their kids to have more. And to a brief little point, if you are leading people, please, please, please tell me you are digging into their personal lives as much as they're willing to allow. You should know kids' names. You should know spouses' names. You should know what soccer game they did or didn't have. Like me, for example, I'm very bad about this. I always remember someone went to X and X state, but I may get wrong where the heck you went. But I remember you had some kind of thing.
Loud noises!
So a couple of no-nos, just as some downside caveats that I want to throw at you. You should not be making a statement of they get paid too much. Because remember, you're setting it up that if they win, we all win, right? So you should not be making, I've unfortunately have heard, well, I'm paying them too much. I could do that much easier. But you ain't doing it. So if you want to pick it up and do it, then you can say you're paying them too much. But if you're making them do that thing that you're not doing, you ain't paying them too much. Suck it up, Buttercup.
I do not recall that.
Next, can't make more than me. There's been many times throughout my career where I would watch managers or leaders, supposedly, make comments of, well, such and such is making more than me, I can't have that.
Just expressing myself.
No. Not like that, you're not.
If you are in a sales world, a killer salesperson is probably going to make more than you. Who cares? You only get paid when they do, so why does it matter? So don't think this way. So you've been here for a fat minute. I really appreciate you hanging around this long. If you would like to dive in deeper on maybe some payroll problems or maybe just another kind of problem of what happens, I don't think that the reasons I say I'm doing this thing are lining up with my actions. And you want to know more? Click the link below. Let's have a talk, a chitty chat, if you will, and see if we can help you out. You have an absolute wonderful day, and we will catch you on the next one.